Okay, in this interview that Eddie Hearn just did on the DAZN Boxing YouTube channel, he has revealed that Anthony Joshua has now selected a new trainer. It is an American trainer, and he will be basing himself in the United States for his next camp. There are lots of people online claiming to know who it is, and I'll come on to that in just a moment. But first of all, with regards to AJ setting up shop in the US and training there for his next fight, I think this is a good thing, particularly if he's going to be around other top level fighters. The mentality they have may rub off on him, and I think it's good to get out of his comfort zone. So I think that's a good thing. However, what I don't think is such a good thing is training in the United States, but then fighting in the UK. And I say that mainly because of the time difference. The jet lag can get to you. Some people deal with jet lag better than others, but as a general rule, I don't think that's a particularly good idea. I think it's better to train in America and also fight there, as Lennox Lewis did, as Tyson Fury did in more recent times. So yeah, with AJ, I understand why he's going to be fighting in the UK, presumably, because of the money aspect. I get it from a business perspective. There's, money from the UK crowd for AJ to fight in the UK, money for DAZN, money for Eddie Hearn. They maximize the revenue you can generate from an AJ fight, having him fight in Britain. I understand that. But just looking at it from a purely boxing perspective, I think it would be better for him to fight in America. Yes, because of the jet lag, but also because AJ has demons from that first Andy Ruiz fight. And maybe by confronting those demons, by fighting in America again, because he's only fought in America once and it went horribly wrong for him, fighting in America again, I think he might be able to exercise those demons. So that's my take on that. It's not necessarily absolutely terrible, right? It all depends on how he deals with jet lag. Some people deal with it better than others, but ideally, I think it would be better for him to train in America and fight there. Anyway, moving on to who this trainer is. The widespread speculation, the name that is coming out of everybody's mouths is Derrick James. Now, we've seen Anthony Joshua in Derrick James's gym. There's been interviews with Derrick James asking him if he's going to be training Anthony Joshua next. So it's no real surprise if it does turn out to be Derrick James. Is this a good move? Well, the proof is in the pudding. It remains to be seen. But one thing I'll say is that if you look at Errol Spence, who is one of Derrick James's fighters, and even if you look at the Charlo that Derrick James trains, I always forget if it's Jamel or Jamal that he trains now. I think they were both with Derrick James originally, but it's only one of them he trains now. Or hang on, no, was it Derrick James or was it, I forget now, or was it Ronnie Shields who had both of them for a while? I forget. Anyway, with Errol Spence and Charlo, they're both a little bit mechanical, if you think about it, particularly Errol Spence. They're not the most fluid fighters you've ever seen. And so there's two ways to look at that. One way would be, well, that's not good for Anthony Joshua because he's a bit of a mechanical fighter and he needs to learn more fluidity, if that's possible, right? But another way to look at it is maybe Derrick James knows how to get the best out of mechanical fighters. Again, not like Errol Spence or Charlo are as mechanical as AJ, but they're still kind of mechanical, particularly, as I say, Errol Spence. Hope I didn't just say Derrick James then. He used to fight, but I'm talking about now. So Errol Spence and Charlo, bit mechanical, particularly Spence. Maybe Derrick James knows what to do with someone with AJ's biomechanics. Yeah? Because you look at Errol Spence, he's a methodical guy. He's not really flashy. He's not really a guy that's as fluid as, let's say, a Terence Crawford, He's a guy that is kind of mechanical. Even Marvin Hagler back in the days. I've compared Errol Spence over the years to Marvin Hagler in certain aspects. Hagler was a bit mechanical as well. So, not that Derrick James trained him, but yeah, it's just a comparison I've made. So maybe James will know what to do with AJ's biomechanics. And when it comes to AJ's mindset, as I say, being around the likes of Charlo, Errol Spence, who doesn't have a particularly high opinion of AJ, that might be good for him to just get out of his comfort zone and be around that kind of energy of those fighters and understand how they think and how they train and so on and so forth. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And in fact, before I end this, there was a story that came out a couple of days ago, absolutely bizarre, right? Eddie Hearn revealed in a recent interview, I think it was with The Sun, that in the dressing room before the first Usyk fight, AJ was hitting the pads. And he says here that, he says, I remember when he was warming up for the fight and he had a pad of notes that he and the team had put together. He would be hitting the pads and every now and then he would look over and look at the book. He would go over and look at the book. So he's hitting the pads, warming up for the Usyk fight. Then he's going over to look at a notebook where he's made a bunch of notes with regards to what he's supposed to do against Usyk. Very, very strange. People, I've been in boxing gyms for like 20 years. I've never seen anything like that in my life. So either AJ has got some memory issues where he struggles, like he doesn't have enough RAM, random access memory. You know, people call him a robot and whatever. He's gonna robotic in the way he fights and also in the way he thinks. So maybe he doesn't have enough random access memory to, recall all the stuff that he's been taught. Or maybe it was a situation with that fight where they were trying to teach him too much. Maybe he was confused because he was taking instructions or information from lots of different people, not just from Rob McCracken, but also from Angel Fernandez and whoever else. And he couldn't keep track of it all, so he decided to make some notes. Very, very strange stuff. And then, of course, famously, before the opening bell of the first Usyk fight, he turns to the security, Clifton Mitchell. Yeah, Clifton Mitchell was a professional fighter, but it's still weird, right? Randomly turning to Clifton Mitchell saying, what do you think I should do against Usyk? This is just really, really odd stuff. And it doesn't inspire confidence in a fighter when he's doing stuff like that. And as I say, the notepads in the dressing room just adds to it. So yeah, I'll leave with that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Anthony Joshua purportedly going to be training with Derrick James and training in the United States. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think this is a bad thing? Let me know in the comment section below.